What's going on, Rippa fam and Rippa fans? Andy Andrew here, and I am so overjoyed to be here with all of y'all and our illustrious illustrators over at the Rippaverse for this Christmas episode of Control Z. Hopefully, this is gonna air. We're recording this on the 23rd. Hopefully, this airs tomorrow, Christmas Eve. That'd be ideal. We'll see how quickly we can get Jordan to do a turnaround on that. But guys, this is gonna be a really fun packed episode. We had a lot of really cool submissions from the fans. We've got a surprise submission from another Rippaverse family member. And the guys just have some really awesome pieces for you guys. So I don't have anything else beyond that. You guys are going to get more awesome art knowledge from these three gentlemen here, plus me. And yeah, we're going to have a fun time. The theme, for those of you who do not remember, was to have it embody the spirit of Christmas. So things like love, joy, peace, unity, goodness, hopefulness, kindness, all those things, right? Whereas most of our prompts, we have a lot of action scenes going on, right? And yeah, you could throw in a snowball fight in there, but we've done that already before. So I want to do some a little bit different, promote some positivity and goodness and kindness in the comic book community. And that's what this is all about. And there are a couple of surprises involved with that I can't wait for you guys to see and check out. But without further ado, gentlemen, welcome back. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Hello.
I hope you all have had a good December thus far. I know how busy it's been here at the Rippaverse, but I hope you guys, when you're not working until 3:30 in the morning, you're spending time with your families and whatnot. So let's without further ado get into it. We're gonna kick things off, I think, with Marcos's piece. This is a really fun piece too. Like a really fun piece. This one made me smile. And anybody else that I've shown the piece as like a test audience, it made them smile too. So that makes me happy. So let's bring this up right here.
Good, I didn't know that actually.
Didn't know what?
That you showed it to everybody and they felt happy about it.
I only showed it to a couple of other people that are actually not connected with the team, just to get kind of a outside third party perspective, that had no, real dog in the fight, I guess, or any attachment beyond just like, hey, what does this make? How does this make you feel? And so, yeah, positive reception. So, Marcos, take us through your piece, amigo.
Well, thanks. Well, as you can see, it was the first sketch. Didn't really have any outstanding ideas outside of this one, so I went straight with it. I was just thinking, what if we had the team or some people, some of the heroes and some of the villains teaming up to make this snowman. And I thought it would be a fun idea to have characters that obviously make sense for it. Like, obviously Yaira was going to be involved, but I decided to put her in the back because I've drawn her so many times. It'd be kind of expected, I guess, if she's like.
Yaira already gets a lot of attention.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, let me see who hasn't received any attention in a while, and I thought Absolute Zero from the Great War, which is one of the villains, and yeah, I thought she'd make sense. She's literally below zero in temperature. She can make anything related to ice and whatnot. So I thought, why not also have a little counter effect with barbecue in the background. I was gonna make him help, but it wouldn't really make sense. He's gonna melt it down. So I thought maybe he's just in the background sipping some hot chocolate or something, and watching the guys just craft it up. And then the biggest part of this was just adding the team effort between Gooding and Splatterpuss. Because if you guys read, Gooding the Polymath, I think you can understand they're pretty much rivals.
Yep.
They're one on each other. One wants to kill the other. The other wants to be a good guy. But yeah, I thought it would make sense. and something thematic for the piece regarding the creation of a snowman that I thought regarding Splatterpuss was that it was unique. Splatterpuss, his powers, he can basically suck your life out. I don't know if that's the proper word, but he can basically kill you by touch. And I thought it makes sense to have him be like the one at the top that's giving life to the snowman. Like with the head, he's the one putting the carrot. He's the one making. The hint is that he was the one making the little details on the head, while Gooding's just putting the hat on top, like a cherry on top. There's a little detail that I wanted to work into it because it kind of felt wholesome with it. Like maybe he's having a change of heart. So
At least for
I'm
the
not going to take
holidays.
life this time. Yeah, I'm not taking life this time. I'm actually going to help create life. And yeah, and Gooding's just happy. He's just smiling as he's going. Okay, we got a good thing going on here. Maybe we can work this out. Maybe that's also because he knows that Yair is watching in the background. I don't know. He feels safe, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, one detail here about Gooding, you can tell he's kind of like very 2D. His pose, his full profile view. That was intentional because I was trying to make it feel like it's old school like ads. The character looks straight on to the side. You know,
got you.
he likes to do his ads. Like he's always like
Promoting
himself. Yeah. I thought it'd be kind of a funny little hint at that. With his perspective, like very like, side view. But yeah,
cool.
that's mostly it. Just the team effort of a couple villains, a couple heroes, trying to create artificial life in a sense, I guess. But there's still the message is still there. Thought it'd be a good idea. So yeah.
Good job, man. I love how you did
Yeah.
the texture of the snow was crazy. That's awesome. Like that really stood out.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
It just the good use of line weights and everything. Like he feels 3-dimensional, and that's always when you're using line weights and stuff. That's the whole purpose, is to make it pop and stand out and not feel just flat and 2D. Basically creating a 3D something in 3D space, even though it's in the 2D space. And I think the way you overlapped and did the snow, and how you had to even break up the different parts of the snowman, like how it overlaps, based on the direction, the angle. It really works. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I like the poses as well.
Mhm.
Like even though they're like kind of not like fighting or doing something like that, they're still nice touch there with the trees.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh yeah.
It's nice detail. Yeah. Oh, the line weight is crazy good.
Yeah.
Like the thickness of the outline, and then like the spare use of like small, more like volumetric lines to give
Yeah.
to add some volume to the snowman. It's pretty good. You're gonna add like
Yeah.
grayscale and everything, but yeah, just the line alone
Yeah.
works really well.
Like even if you didn't,
Yeah, usually
it would work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say usually like in this case we're like a bunch of characters over each other, like closer to the to the viewer, I guess, the foreground. We
Yeah.
usually just make the lines thicker.
Yep.
And at least when they're like intertwined so that it doesn't look like they're crossing or something.
We're on
We
the
give it a
same
little bit of
plane.
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the shading helps a little bit more with that, because otherwise it would look just flat.
Yeah. That's a good tip. Very good tip. Like the line weight for separating like planes.
That's something, man, that I still have to be cognitive of, because like I said, it's easy to always use a little white outline to break things up, and sometimes that works, but I think when you do that, it takes away some of the like organic and realism that's you're trying to achieve, and makes it more posterized, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. But then it also can make things look flat, because they look like stickers and like cutouts instead of actual characters in 3D space. So good job on, like Igor said, man, those line weights really help, especially even on her too, man. Like, her muscles
Yeah.
and striations and stuff like that look really well done. So
Uh,
I would
I
I would have done her as she is, which is literally pure black, but that would have made it a little bit harder to, do
mm,
the shading and all that because literally just pitch black.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, but
yeah,
I
I had
think
to
it's
do
fine
basically that.
to add
mhm,
like different. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you see characters through comic books, like they're gonna have the most varied interpretations. Some
exactly.
artists
Mhm.
don't always use like the same, like thick black and nothing shines through. Like that's
Mhm.
reserved for very few characters. And even though like some artists have different interpretations of that, because
Hmm.
sometimes it turns into a hindrance when you have to
Mhm.
like
Exactly.
describe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think of I think it's Atomic Frolin, the way he did Spider-Man. He was the
Yeah.
first to actually make, instead of the blue parts on the suit being blue, he just made them black. So it's just
Mhm.
like solid black with maybe a little hint of like muscle
Also.
definition, man. But it was such a unique feel. And then you got others, like you said, they use the tones and in the gray tones. So I mean, either one would work, but I think you chose, good um, direction by not coloring her all black, but actually,
Yeah.
just accenting the shadows and stuff like that. So, and
I think it
I
also
think it
fits
I would have
worked.
had
the.
to add.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Oh, you can go. I was
I was
just gonna
just
say
gonna
I would have
say,
had to add white lines.
yeah. Well, so what I was gonna say is like I think thematically it works better that you didn't make her just kind of pitch black, because that would
Mhm.
lean more into like yes, she's a villain, she's evil and all that, but like if you make her a little bit lighter like this, she doesn't seem like she's clashing so much with the rest of the um the rest of the
The cast.
piece and the rest of the characters, right? Because even though you have half of these characters are villains, you know maybe a little bit more depending on what type of day Yaira's having, you know then I think she fits a lot better here,
Yeah.
because even though we have villains on the page, none of them are doing
Mhm.
anything particularly villainous, right? This is meant
Mhm.
to showcase kind of peace, and it does that very well with the direction that you took with it. So I'm actually glad you made the choice that you did. I think it works
It's
best that way.
it's the best contrast is with the snowman because she's actually touching it. She's creating it
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
bottom, and that's the purest white versus the darkest
Mhm.
black, I guess, in the screen. So it makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although
Mm.
looking at the piece now, the only thing I see that kind of bothers me is the hat. I should probably make the hat a little bit darker. The Gooding, he's putting
Oh,
the
it is
hat
very
on the
similar grayscaling to Billy Bob there.
Mm.
barbecue. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
can
only
But
see
thing.
that.
When
yeah.
Also,
yeah,
actually, if you did add,
But the
like,
thickness of the line saves that like
it
by
does.
itself. Yeah.
I was
I
like,
didn't have a problem reading that. Sorry,
even
Ken.
if you added a little bit of some of the dark shadows to that, I think that wouldn't have been an issue either, though. Just because, I mean, most top hats and things like that, especially that particular hat, it's part of
yeah.
the, kind of the aesthetic of, a snowman. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
all in all, man,
I
like
think
solid.
I think if you go back a little bit, actually think it looks better without the shading. Like it's just when it was like pure black, white,
Oh, and it was just the
Mm,
lines.
like
Let's see
near
if
the end before, yeah, right there.
yeah.
yeah.
Like, because
Excuse me.
for
Well,
the
this
hat, I mean, like
showcases
you
your
can tell
line
the
weights really well.
It does.
yeah,
Like you
kind of like it
distinctly
when it's
see
like this.
the foreground, middle ground,
It's,
background.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I,
that was going to be originally my submission for the time lapse, but then I added the grayscale because I thought maybe
I mean,
for the
both
yeah,
sake of
look
it.
good.
both look good. Yeah.
Thank
As a final piece, obviously, like having grayscale adds a lot
you.
Yeah.
to the work, right? Like since it maybe yeah we're
Makes it
not
ready for
adding
color.
color. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, it makes the color's life easier as well. Like
Hmm.
if you want to save the color's time, you add grayscale, or
Hmm.
if you want to control every aspect of your your piece as well.
Yeah, there's that too.
True.
And,
But
I was sitting here thinking it would be interesting, and I don't know if you've messed with it much, Marcos, but it would be interesting to see how
Mm.
you handle toning, like the toning effect.
Toning?
Yeah.
Oh,
like if you seen like the kind of that manga, because
Like
you
the
can do it in
textures.
yeah, like those the textured and I'd love to see kind of like how you add that to your grayscale.
Yeah,
Um,
I
that's
haven't
cool.
actually.
Actually, for the next piece, instead of
yeah,
like using actual gray, use different like screen tones and stuff.
yeah,
I have some
yeah.
brushes I can share with you.
I think you could be do
You're
a good
giving me
job.
homework.
Yeah, getting homework.
I've actually
But
worked, I think, on one or two pieces like over the last decade using textures, but that's like personal pieces on the side, not really work
Hmm.
related.
yeah,
So
it's
I
time
haven't
to do it
actually
again.
practiced it a lot.
Right. Today's the day.
Classes in section, I guess.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It
look cool.
always is here.
It's gonna look like manga actually. Like I
Mhm.
think
Yeah,
more. Yeah,
Yeah, the
because
dots. Yeah.
yeah.
you
Looking
might
forward
like
to
the
seeing that.
outcome, man. I think you would
Yeah,
do a really good job with toning too. I think it would
yeah.
really elevate what you already do. So
That's true. The
Great
last thing
notes.
is I said cool because he added like reflection to the trees behind, and then he
mm,
took it off. But
Yeah.
it actually makes a lot of sense because it would clash with all the white in
yeah.
the front.
Mhm.
So
I
even
didn't
though it
actually
looked
fully
cool,
remove it
like
though.
didn't yeah, it's kind
I
of
actually
gray now or
reduced
something like that.
yeah, I reduced the opacity so it's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
darker, harder to
Okay.
see.
Yeah,
Because I thought
yeah,
exactly the same thing. If it was the pure white, it would have actually clashed
yeah.
with the
Smart.
elements, the character in the foreground.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
brought it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's pretty cool.
okay.
You can still
Pretty
see
good.
it, but it's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and then it works as like atmospheric perspective.
Yeah.
You're taking away some
Mhm.
of the blackness of the ink behind it because there is air between the viewer and that. But because if it was like all black, even though it looked great, it would like clash a lot with
It would.
the white in the characters.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty good choice.
Really great choice.
Yeah,
Fun piece. Make a
really
fun
fun.
piece.
Yeah.
I am
Cool.
quite fond of it.
Ah, um,
Yes. Yes.
I
Very
can't
cool
say that. It's
piece.
my piece. So
No, you did a good job, man. Very well done.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. First piece down. Great work. Now, for the next one. Try to pull this up here. I've got double the
there's no way I'm
speed.
winning this, by the way.
You never know.
With
Right.
You never
Right.
know.
dude,
You
these
never know.
pieces by these two right now, you're about to be blown away. I'm telling you.
I think people are thinking
Trust
we're
me.
blown away by yours too.
The audience is the judge.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh yeah, this is really
We look at the
just
pieces
simply
from one
speaking.
perspective, and the audience
Didn't you
looks at it
win
from a
last
completely
one?
different
What are you
Yeah, he
talking
did
about?
win
Yeah,
last
you
time.
with this guy. He's the reigning
Like,
champ, and he's talking all that ish.
Hey, I mean, once every full moon, but I'm not. I'm just saying.
All right, this is gonna be fun. This one actually, I actually kind of like that this is in
Egypt.
landscape
No,
because
it's okay,
it,
man.
because it takes up
Damn, the way it's
the
starting
whole
off
screen.
already.
There's no like empty black space. I hate like a bunch of empty black or white space on the screen
Yeah,
if it's not like in service to a panel where you got some negative space to work with. When it's just like because that's just how the layout of a screen works, I'm not as fond of it. All right, here we go.
Before you start, people who are drawing perspective lines. This is a good
Yes,
example.
this is it.
If you don't know how to make a scene, definitely do the perspective line because it helps so much.
yeah.
These are really well done.
Mhm.
All right.
And this is actually fun because I usually leave the perspective lines off the drawing,
Mm,
Mhm.
but I started leaving them in because I find that they help me much more even
yep.
after sketching.
Yep.
Because
Mm.
even though Clip Studio has rules like that you can use, sometimes your mind works better as just like following
Absolutely.
the subtle lines, and then you can use like you don't have to follow the rule because it gives a more natural,
Yep.
unless it's like some material that needs to be straight, but like adding some lines that you do it yourself, just trying to follow those lines give it a more natural look,
Yep.
because that's
Yeah.
something that some artists tend to have happen with their background, is like everything looks stiff.
Hmm.
And that's sometimes because you're using like the same brushwork on everything,
Yeah.
and then it kind of muddles everything together. So trying to
Okay.
complement some of the straight lines with like natural
It's good.
movement is good. Yeah.
Right on. No, I like that. That's a great note for people that are, not just those who are struggling with perspective, but I think for people who want to just like make sure that they continue to not struggle with perspective, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they always have that. There's that kind of guideline.
And
I
it's
think that's
really
very
not that
wise.
tough. Like it's not that tough. I know it seems like a lot, but it isn't. Like you can get a hang of it pretty fast if you just exercise, like just make a bunch of them. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's basically what you have to do.
Right on. All right. This piece is very special, as this piece is actually, when I came to you, Igor, because this piece was meant to be kind of multifaceted in its purpose, one of which being this is a gift for our very own Carol Brown, Duchess
Mm.
of the Dirty Deeds. Um, I won't go into all the things that she has going on. Those of you that have seen her social media know
Yeah.
that, but this was meant to be something that would uplift her spirits and also be kind of celebratory for the fact that her first full launch book here at the Rippaverse, Dirty Deeds #1,
Yes,
is
sir.
now launched and live for pre-order. So, Caro, this is from all of us to you, and my brother, take us through it.
Yeah. So the original like suggestion that Andrew made was like having the Dirty Deeds crew kind of trying to have a earthly Christmas, like because they're not from here, but they're interacting with like some new characters. They are from Earth,
Mm.
and they are trying to assimilate the giving, the gifting, the kind of like celebrating together, drinking, having fun, trying to mingle, and all the stuff that comes with the Christmas that we have in in our world. And I thought it would be fun to try and like demonstrate some characters' interactions, how they would interact in this, because it's basically filler, right? Like it would be a filler episode of some sort. And I
Yeah.
was trying to get in the mind of like what would Carol write for this, because you guys are
Mm.
gonna see that like she's a really good writer when it comes to comedy. Like she
Mhm.
writes well in all like uh sorts of themes, and but comedy she's perfect at that. And I was trying to get the behind the mind of like what would Carol Brown write for each of these characters. So some are simpler, like Santa hat, but then you have like some different gifts that are gonna show. uh, and it's kind of tricky to lay out the scene and have all the characters and not be like too muddy or boring
Mm.
sometimes, because I think we
Make
have
sure it's
like
not cluttered. Right?
yeah, so you have room for everything. And you're gonna see that like this is me kind of designing the characters, and some of these characters were drawn while I have the perspective guide off.
Mm.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna correct a lot of them because of that. So if you have like characters too close to the screen, it's really good to have the guides on, so you
Yeah.
don't lose track of like proportions.
That's
And
good.
yeah, because the Beatles mainly, since he's close to the camera, I had to redraw him a couple of times because his torso was too long, and that stuff you don't notice until you're like I turn on the grid and I'm like, this doesn't make sense, because he would be closer to the camera, but
Yeah.
his torso would be going down. So maybe if you want to add like more three dimensionality to the whole thing, like it means that he has like kind of his own vanishing point where he's going
Mm.
to the ground. So if you wanna like Masashi Kishimoto, I think is the artist for Naruto.
Yeah.
His manga has a lot of that. Like the characters kind of bend as
Yeah.
the lens is kind of
Another fish
different. Like
eye.
Hmm.
yeah, he uses that a lot, so he doesn't distort everything, but like as it gets closer to the camera, you see like you would see in your own eye, where you have like this peripheral view of everything. It's
Yep.
kind of cool. So
Yeah.
this is my favorite part. So just like just drawing, like trying to figure out how would characters interact, the curiosity of like Sulia and Beetle trying to figure out how the fire extinguisher works, and
They need
some
one of those on
human,
that ship.
yeah, some human technology that they don't, they might not have in their ship or something like that. And yeah, so this is basically a lot of inking afterwards, after everything is said and done, um, because you have to be careful with the line weight, which is something that I struggle immensely in digital, because I used to be a traditional artist, and it was
Mhm.
much easier for me to control that when I was inking traditionally. I didn't have a zoom, which helped me a lot. And yeah, I'm trying to create like a tree that's also kind of alien, but
Mhm.
also has like some aspects that are, yeah, uh out of this world or something like that, so that some tentacles going on.
Nice.
I
And
like that instead of like just your regular earthly like garland that you would
Mhm.
yeah,
stick
because they
on
would
the
have
tree,
to come
right?
to Earth and kidnap a tree or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I need a similar but not the same.
I love the gun president is priceless.
It's like no one knows what it is.
Right.
It's a secret, guys.
That's a weapon. That's the present that Hero would love for sure.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
new gun.
Yeah. New
Is that a
gun.
knife? Also,
Yeah,
knife
yeah. I
shield
was
on.
Yeah,
trying
weapon.
to like be funny, but I didn't want to hit the joke over the head, like having all gifts be guns or something like that, weapons of some sort. And yeah, so now I'm laying down like more anatomy detail, and uh, the thing that I'm trying to do, as you guys can see for some of these, to avoid having like too many thick or out of place
Mm,
lines inside is draw the outline first, and then I
gotcha.
come in with like a smaller brush and add more details. But I'm still struggling. Like this is an ongoing thing for me, where I'm inking and I feel like I'm adding too many heavy lines inside the characters,
Yeah.
where there should be like thinner lines, which is something that Marcus does really really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something that I'm struggling with right now. I want to improve my own work. So you're gonna see now that I add more detail, you're gonna see me redraw that torso a couple of times. Uh, I'm gonna go back to it before the video is over.
I
Try
love how
again.
the texture you added to the fire extinguisher. It feels like it's
Thanks.
a different type of metal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I wasn't sure because I looked at fire extinguishers that like NASA uses, and they
Mm,
look different. They don't look like the same. I don't know what the
Right.
restrictions are, because it's probably trickier to have like a pressurized item
in
inside
space.
space or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. So it
That's
seems different, and I
true.
was trying to
I never
convey
even thought
that.
about that.
Yeah.
So
They
that's good
actually,
thinking
Hey,
as an artist there, Igor. Like
yeah,
you're thinking about
the
that kind of a
realism.
thing. Nice.
Hmm.
Nice.
and it's fun. It's fun to research stuff. Like I always found that fun, like learning with the books that I'm taking part in, and the pieces that I'm making. It's always felt Arad wasn't angry enough, so I had to
Make
redraw
'em-
it.
He's just super annoyed.
He
I love
got
that.
a Felsiar
Dude,
face
really?
shot.
I love that. That's so fun. Felsiar gives him a photo of himself. That's too
I like
good.
Yeah.
I like how you added that the astronaut half suit in the background with the beard.
Mm,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't know why it made me think of Eric, but then I was like, wait, that's like a Santa beard.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know.
It's probably
Beard.
because you saw me draw Eric 1,000 times, and maybe
Right.
the
Yeah,
beard is
you
the
draw him
same.
a
Hey,
lot.
true.
Maybe that's it.
I love
Yeah,
how
Eric,
so
one of
I
the
wanted like they wouldn't have a Santa, right? Like so,
yeah.
like
hmm
the closest thing to that.
to bring back
The
the point on texture, you mentioned the metal. but I actually like that he actually did it on other stuff as well with the tree,
Yeah.
the stomp, for instance, and then the
Mhm.
is that a chalkboard or a window? Kind of, it kind of
Yeah, it
looks like
might be. Yeah, it would be a window, but then the texture
hmm,
is like a little bit too realistic for it. I would have to add a filter or something like that, but I didn't want to mess around with that. But
Mm.
there should be a filter to kind of marry it to my own drawing because
Mm,
that's a brush. So when you
Right.
use a brush or something like that, you have to be careful not to be too distant from the stuff that you actually do.
just like how you do like balancing, like adding textures here and there to
mm,
make it more realistic. Because it's not just the metal; there's a little piece in the center with the tree. Then you have the windows. You also have some of the leaves on
Mhm.
the tree, the hairs. Then you have Aaron's armor piece on the shoulder
mm.
Mhm.
here in the foreground. You can see more of the textures. I just you're always good at that, Igor. The textures.
Man, but it's something that I'm really struggling with right now because it means adding more lines or more like heavy lines for like the stuff under the chin or
Mm,
the
Hmm.
like those types of shadows, the ones that are hidden behind something else. I forgot the name in English right now, but yeah, those are trickier because you have to add weight to
yeah.
them,
Mhm.
and if you do too much, it's gonna like mess around
Yeah.
with the drawing if you don't know what you're doing, which I don't in most cases with that. So there,
Poppycock.
Honestly,
Just
man,
black.
like doing cast shadows, I think that's what you're talking about, like cast
yeah,
shadow,
yeah, kind of cast shadows,
um,
yeah.
is just knowing, just like line weights, the closer
Hmm.
the object is to the ground, it gets darker, and then it fades out as you go further away. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
even when you're doing somebody's chin, of course, up under the chin will be darker, but as you get further
Yeah.
and further down, it gets lighter. So, I mean, you
Hmm.
could, if you're trying to use hatch marks and things like that, or cross hatching, it's always a pressure thing. You know,
Yeah.
just ease up, as you get, and then thinner lines the further you get away. But I think you're handling it good, man. Like just like the thicker and dark shadows and stuff.
Thanks,
Um,
man. It's
It's harder
still
when
not
there's a
a lot
beard,
to do.
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's always one thing I always run into, just because of my style. Like when I add a beard that's not, um, basically is the person's hair isn't lighter, isn't red or like or blonde or something like this, like
Yeah.
darker
Mhm.
brunette or something. The beard tends to blend into the
Yeah,
to
the
the
shadow.
next shadow. It's like, dang it.
Right.
But yeah, you did a good job, man. I think it's cool that the tree has roots. Like it's
Yeah.
actually like growing out of the
It has
ground.
shade.
Well, I also love
It's
that the
real.
tree itself doesn't necessarily look like
Earthly.
your
Yeah.
typical earthly
Yeah.
evergreen pine tree, right? Like it looks like it's a pine tree of sorts, but you could sell it as not actually being from Earth,
Yeah.
right? It's got this like alien tone to it a bit,
Hmm.
mainly with like how it's twisting up towards the top, right?
Yep.
I really dig that. It adds more to the feeling. This is kind of like a marrying of multiple, I guess, for lack of a better term, cultures, right? And
Yeah.
geographies and things like that. So I think that's a ton of fun.
The tree
For all they
actually
could
could
know.
be a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all they
Yeah.
Yeah.
could know, they just
That
brought
that
in their
that
next
was
villain.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like kind of like it doesn't have even to be a plant. Like they wouldn't care. Like that's
Right.
what I get from
That
it.
looks
They would
close.
it's a living being. Let's go. It's green. It's okay.
It fits.
They're badasses. What could happen?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, just
awesome.
have Rod chop it down and toss it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Good.
the thing that I have to add is like when me and Andrew talked about this, his suggestion, which was a great one, was to have Spingy like kind of setting up
Mm,
the
yeah.
star on top. So he's like dangling down from the roof and yeah, putting the star there. So
Spingy's
it was
already a fan favorite. It made all the
yeah.
sense in the world to me.
It is so good to draw him, man. Like I
He is fun to
understand
draw.
why like Evan likes him
Yeah.
because he's super fun to draw. Like all the arms and everything. Like it gives it's hard not to be dynamic with him because there's
Yeah,
so much going on and his shapes and like the size of things, like his head and torso
Yeah.
and everything.
it
Like
gives you a
this
lot to work
ultimate
with.
Yeah, the design is great.
Very handy. Yeah.
Yeah, very handy. Yeah,
the
it's
him and the
very handy.
puns.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
Is this how you guys feel
Yeah,
around me like all the time?
No, I think it's cool too that having Spingy there, it does real some. I don't even know the term for it or how they even classify it, but it balances the whole image in an interesting way. Like having them there kind of like puts a central something to center it around. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you have the tree, but I don't know. It's like Spingy having Spingy there actually like kind of brings it all together aesthetically, which is interesting. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know that
Balance.
phrase for it, but it works.
Yep.
And I also love the drapery coming from the left is really, really well done.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the folds.
Yeah, it actually has
'cause
weight to it.
you kind of have to balance, right? Like those elements in your composition. That's why sketching is so important. Like for this, we kind of have a lot of other things to do, but like we still have to think about like how to make this look like a lived space, look like something that someone uses, and then you have to think about like the composition as a whole, like because bigger elements are always going to draw the attention compared to small ones. So you want to leave like more nuanced actions to the foreground, and then like the more simple ones, like someone hanging a curtain or someone putting a hat on someone, something that you've seen 1,000 times, you leave to the background because yeah, it's easier to spot, right? Like when it's someone looking at a photo or someone checking like a gag like this, like Beetle is about to turn on the fire extinguisher, and Sulia is like unbeknownst to her, like she's looking.
Yeah, she's
into it.
looking up the
That
pipe,
needs
right?
that needs like more elements to describe it, so it's smart. Obviously, a lot of artists are gonna be able to draw that in different ways, which is cool as well. But for me, it would be like people wouldn't be able to read this as well, especially in black and white.
I think too, man. Like it tells you tell a story in one image, and that's not something that's like necessarily like easy to do. Like like you said, everybody's doing their own thing, but it's still cohesive. But at the same time, it's telling a story. Like you said, you feel like you're engaged. You feel like you're part of the room, not just looking at it on the outside as a viewer if he was looking through the window, but you actually feel like you're in the room in that corner. Whoever you are, you'd be extremely tall, but like, but no, like you're there in the mix, man. Like, and you can feel the energy, and just even though it's an alien, even though we're in space and stuff, man, it still feels wholesome and cozy, and still like a interesting like family dynamic, man, which is really cool and just plays right into the characters themselves. So
gives that kind of found family vibe, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
which is exactly the point. So yeah, I think this piece really really embodies kind of like that spirit of joy, because you got this whole found family kind of coming together and multicultural, and they're all here just celebrating this one thing, but kind of each having their own idea about it, because for a lot of them, it's what is this? Like, you can imagine like what that conversation was like. Oh, well, we all give each other gifts, right? And Felsiar is like, I know the best gift to give anybody. Right? Like, the best gift anybody can receive is a photo of my mug. Right? Felsiar's like, I am the gift, right?
And then you can see in the tag, but I put like Sulia and then crossed it, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna give this to Arad actually.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's got so much positive, again, joyous energy to it, just like Marcos's embodied like that spirit of peace and a laying down of arms. And famously last Christmas we had that collaborative Christmas card that we did with Iconic Comics, right, that Eric Senet did, that turned out outstanding, right? And those were actual physical cards. We sent those out, right, that had a bunch of Rippaverse and Iconic Comics characters all kind of being like a throwback to that laying down of arms on Christmas Eve, back during the Great War. So, that same kind of peaceful energy, I think, is very important. And, Marcos's piece embodied that in his own fun way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, excellent piece. Any final thoughts on this one, gentlemen?
Phenomenal, man.
Thanks.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Caro, you will be receiving the high-res version of this. Worry not.
Yes.
And our fans as well, like the ones that subscribe to the.
Remember, guys, those of you who are members, you will receive these as wallpapers in your email. So look forward to that. All right, Mr.
Caro's
White,
gonna have a field day with that one.
Oh, Caro's gonna have a great day with that. I wish I could record the reaction. Okay, let me make sure. Yep. I don't have to do anything to Kanan's because this is basically 5 minutes on the nose. So this is nice and easy. We appreciate you. All right. Here we go. Walk us through this one, brother.
Well, of course, you didn't actually see me do the background or the layout, but because I already did it. I think I did another program, but
unacceptable, disqualified.
You can pause it real quick, Andrew, before it goes through the render. So the background, always thinking, big Christmas. I grew up, my mom would always have Christmas cards, always have those classic and Hallmark looking cards. So that was kind of the idea, trying to capture that kind of rustic, old country kind of like Christmas vibe. A lot of the patterns and wallpapers and real intricate designs, and then you have the red ribbon and stuff like that. So even though it's black and white, that's my mindset. And so of course the holly, and then the pine needles and stuff like that. So, and then the sketch, which you can't see necessarily yet, but it's a combination of Zephyr. He fell asleep, and the whole thing is like, he's basically was delivering gifts, saw the milk, ate it, fell asleep. And so like he was going, working with and you mentioned, Andrew, Came in America, their character Carly. So they were working together. That's the story. They were working together to deliver gifts. He fell asleep, and she's like, "Oh, guy, well." And so she's basically finishing his route, So, and he's just like relishing the sleep. So that's what you see him actually reclining in a chair, and so that's what you're seeing, being rendered. So right now, it's the tree. So yeah, that was the setup.
All right, here it is. Just, you guys might remember that last year, Igor did a really fun piece with Yaira and Common America, which was a really fun piece to see him do, and we posted that out over social media. And the iconic comics guys, Common America guys, they really dug it as well. So this hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. Dog, don't be barking like you paid bills.
I guess it's my turn next year.
Yeah.
All right, take us back away, brother.
Just the ornaments, just drawing the ornaments and the presents and things like that. There's it's funny because as you're drawing, you realize that a lot of this stuff is going to get covered anyway. But I remember something that I think it was Jim Lee always said. He said, "Draw through the image." And so even though it's not going to be seen, you still complete it, because sometimes if you don't, it can like mess up your sizing and shapes and stuff like that. So and the whole thing was kind of like, showing like the inside of somebody's home, kind of like those old houses. My mind's always thinking like the Norman Rockwell type paintings. So you got the little floor, the wooden floor, you can see the stairs going up. I was going to actually have kids kind of peeking down the stairs, but I forgot.
That's the best reason. That would have been fun. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I was gonna have, but then I realized that she would also be in the way too. So I was like, okay, I can't really have that. But yeah, so the cookies on the table, you got the milk, the whole nine. Of course, the chairs, and the whole thing. Like I said, this is the first house he's delivered at. He's been delivering all night, running all night, and so she with him, and so finally, man, he just sat in the chair. He's like, I'll have something to drink real quick and just kind of chill out. Chill turned into
He got that itis.
Yep, I'm going to sleep. And so usually when I render, I try to render the background and then just kind of like overlay characters after the fact, just because sometimes that might not be a good thing, because sometimes it cannot be cohesive. But I always try to, even though I render it in pieces, still have or maintain that it's part of a whole. It's not just individual parts, so it doesn't feel like disjointed. But but yeah, it's just rendering them knocked out. Got his scarf on, had the head slump, yeah. Shoulder up a little
Fast
bit.
sleeper, huh?
Yeah, man. And I think I may have added a smile. At first he was just kind of like,
oh,
No, I
we
guess
temporarily
fell
lost
asleep.
him. He'll be right
Right
back.
as he was snoring.
Yeah. You made him disconnect, man, with your son.
Yeah.
My
His
bad.
fast asleep. Ken was like, no, I'm done.
I'm back.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, sorry for the connection issues. I'm not sure what's going on.
All
but
good, brother.
Yeah.
All good.
It's supposed to be
Anyway.
me, the one having issues.
All right.
Like,
I think I would ever have that. Be like Marco. No, but so yeah, he's got the Christmas boots on, the whole nine. Got a scarf on. I think I had the scarf on the front, but I still wanted the logo to show, because I knew there was going to be more to this image, so I just wanted to make sure that his chest image, his logo showed through. But yeah, just really wanted to make it feel. Sometimes they say, man, like some of the hardest things to draw is just people doing natural things, and that takes more thought behind it than just drawing somebody fighting.
Yeah.
And, but being able to show the tender moments, the quiet moments, the moments where so much is happening without words, without a lot of emotion, but still capturing all the the true elements and the emotion of what's going on. And so she's looking at him kind of tenderly, like, you did your best, kid, I'll take over, kind of thing.
Yeah, I got it from
Just
here.
let him sleep. It's like kind of thing. Like, you worked hard. Out of the 30 houses you delivered, through that night, this was the one that he's just tired. He's Zeff's not older, and he's a young guy, man. So, and he's just kind of like, I need to take a nap. You're burning a lot of energy, and them cookies got him. So, but yeah,
I love
Can
that you
relate.
adapted her costume.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man.
I was trying to like still make it look familiar, but then also add the little Christmas elements. The fur hood, boots, gloves, things like that. And so it was interesting trying to adapt her hair to like my style, just because she has the little, I forget what it's called. There's a term for it in manga and anime. That
She's got that fringe, right?
Yeah, the little thing. I forget what it's called, but
anime hair. So.
yeah, I tried to add that, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make her like this. And I think it still worked, man. Like, I think
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
And
yeah.
her hair is still a little wild enough to where it's still Carly's hair, right? Because Carly has that kind of like wild hair where it's kind of like flipped a little bit,
Exactly.
almost like just taking like a straight iron to it, right? And playing with it a bit.
Or they call it,
or whatever you females call it. I don't pretend to be an expert on such things, but yeah, it still looks like it would distinctly be her hair as opposed to just another, blonde female character's long hair.
Yeah.
Right? And so it still resembles her. I really love how you adapted Carly here into your style, which I knew was going to look cool, but I was really curious as to how it's going to come out, because I mean, not just the interiors of the Common America books, but also just any of the covers and basically any variant cover artist that they have do it. It all has a distinctly anime leaning
Yeah.
style, right? A
Yeah.
manga leaning style. So I was like, what was this going to look like? And Kanan's like super highly rendered, very clearly Western, American comic style
Yeah.
comparative to all of them. I've got a giant pile of all the omnibuses and hardcovers behind me here, but like they they look fantastic. And I was like, oh, it's always cool to see characters you love
Yeah.
get adapted into different art styles, right? It's always really
Yeah.
neat to
Styles,
see
yeah.
what do people see through their artist's eye that they're gonna be like, okay, so this is what this character looks like, but how's that gonna translate into how I draw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's kind of the challenge of, like you said, of doing this type of style, man. When you have like you said, when it's a lot of rendering, a lot of heavy like shadow work, things like that. One, you gotta also give it opportunity to breathe. So,
Mhm.
really letting no negative space shine through. But then two, like you said, adapting, something as I want to say as elaborate as usually like a lot of manga outfits are, for
Mhm.
characters like this, being able to make it with my style practical. Like what would it look like kind of in real life, kind of
Mhm.
thing. Like, I like to draw
Like
seams
a
a lot and things like that for, a lot of the suits and stuff. A
Yeah.
good example of that, I always think of the DC's Arrowverse, how they took a lot of the DC comic suits and
Mhm.
uniforms and actually made them practical. Even from the Flash to Green Arrow to it's like because sometimes what works in comic books doesn't necessarily translate to real
Yeah.
life. So I always kind of keep that
It's
mindset when I'm
fantastical for a
yeah,
reason.
exactly. Like, so I always try to keep that in mind when doing different outfits and things like that, making sure it still feels like it could actually be something that somebody would wear. And that, like I said, it's just, kind of my style, but really going for, like I said, that Hallmark feel, man, like almost like, the postcard vibe, like, if you saw it, back in the day, if you like painted, hand painted or something like, by, some famous artist or like one of those Coca-Cola cards,
Yeah.
you kind of like, you can get that same look and feel. And also still want to make sure that the, this tree felt like it was lit, and, that there was still some type of glow coming from the tree. And even in the background, I don't know if there's a lot of, shadows and textures and stuff like that because that's not the focus, that's the background. So, but almost like if there was a fireplace and you have that little soft glow that you see kind of carry out throughout the house, so yeah, it was fun.
Super
I
cool.
love it. I love it. It
Yeah.
brings me great joy. It makes as soon as I saw this, well, actually, no, as soon as I saw your layout that you sent me, right? Just that first layout, like I was like, this is gonna be a heartwarming as hell piece,
Thank you.
right? Like that's y- you guys. I don't think you guys like planned it out, but each one of you honed in on a different one of those three,
Yeah,
like you know, spirit of Christmas type themes, right? Like Marcos with the peace, Igor with the joy, yours with the love. Like each one really leans into one of those. And I love that because those are the kind of things that it's important to embody and it's important to put out there and have
yeah.
more of, not less of. And the world needs a heck of a lot more of it right now. So
Yeah, for sure.
this absolutely beautiful. Guys, thoughts?
jumped into a Skype call. Like we talked about it on a Skype call and everything. We planned it
Oh, you
just
guys
like
you
you guys
guys
Oh,
said.
yeah.
hashed it out.
It was
Skype.
orchestrated.
Sorry, I didn't
The
mean to.
conspirators. You guys were conspirators. Any other
Uh,
thoughts from you two?
yeah, I have a bunch, but the first one is like the ornament around, like the decoration around. It's super cool. It
Thank you, man.
reminded me of the document shirt that you
Mm,
Mm.
made, which
Oh
Yeah.
have
yeah.
like,
yeah.
because that's one of my favorite. Like I wear it all the time,
Okay.
and every time I look at it, I'm like, how did Kanan think about this? Like the intricate design, and it's super cool, man.
Thank you.
This works as a Christmas card, obviously, but also like as a proper framing device. Like we're
Mm,
peeking through
Hmm.
into the scene. It's really good. And the other thing is like the tree behind it's insane. Like the amount of lines that you put there, and to have it not compete with the characters, like how you do that is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely beyond me.
Thank you.
It's really good. You and Marcus have like great line control, which is something that I'm striving to try and
You
learn
have good
more.
line control, dude. You do.
No, but
Yeah, you do
it's
too.
really
What you mean?
like if you give this
Right.
to someone, like this task, render this tree in this way, like, and you can even show this image. It's gonna look like a mess. If I try to do this, if I try to copy your drawing right now, it's gonna end up looking like a mess because it takes a lot to learn like where you're putting like the black masses. And as you
Yeah.
come closer to her, you start to lean more into hatching to
Mhm.
kind of ease in, and then like there's less, a little bit less, and it's just smart as hell. Like
Gotta
there's a
treat it
lot of
like negative
Mhm.
space.
yeah, exactly.
Where you
Yeah,
lay out
that's
what's gonna be.
Yeah,
no. I was just saying that that's something, man. That it's as you're draw with this style, it's like you have to be selective from what you choose to render versus like as anybody can. I've seen people do use this style, and I still don't have it all. Like there's, you got people like Alex Ross and other artists, Ivan Reyes. Like they've nailed that type of heavy. Is it Ed Burns? Is that his name? Ed
Ed
Burns?
Dennis?
Ed Bennis, yeah.
yeah, advanced.
Like
Yeah.
they do a lot of like that heavy render, man, but they know how to still differentiate between what's in the foreground, what needs to be rendered. And
Mhm.
and that's something that, like I said, as you grow as an artist, you have to learn how to kind of like, know what to let breathe and then what to, kind of like add the detail. So, Zeph is pretty detailed. Um, Carly's a little less detailed just because, with her, usually when you draw, women, you don't want to add a lot of heavy lines and stuff because that
Mhm.
can
On the
make them
skin.
look more masculine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the tree has the detail, but you still have to do it sparingly in a way where it can't dominate the image. Otherwise, you end up not being able to focus on what you need to be focused on. And so, and that takes time. Like there's glitches in here that people will see and notice, but that's one of the things you learn how to hide them. So nobody unless you have a super keen eye, you're like, oh, that's this, that. But there's definitely things I would do like differently. Like even his arm, like there's a tangent between his forearm and then the
Mm.
edge of the frame.
Oh,
Which
I have one in my drawing as well, man. It drove
yeah,
me crazy when I was watching here. I didn't
yeah.
mention it, but I was like, the tip of
It's
one
a
of the
shame.
tree's
Yep,
branches is
yep,
touching
yep.
Arod's hand, and it's like, oh, why
Yeah.
didn't I already?
See, I thought that was intentional because to me it just kind of looked like it was just slightly breaking the fourth wall
Well,
almost
yeah,
kind of a
it
thing.
was, but
Yeah,
it's
this
just like
one works.
it's like so like close to the and then you got the corner of the gift with the little arch. That's a
Oh,
tangent.
you're right here. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm usually trying to be um more keen on that because they're annoying. I hate tangents.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
just like dang it. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it's you learn, and as artists, man, we're always learning. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Um, you can always improve, and I think that's why you get better. Um,
Mhm.
because you stay teachable, you stay ready, and you understand, man. Like you don't have you don't know it all. Like there's still things to be learned. There's still things to be unpacked. And so, every for me, every drawing, man, is an opportunity to really learn and kind of push myself to do something different, but then still maintain my voice as an artist and as an illustrator. So I enjoyed adding her. Like I said, she was a little bit of a challenge trying to adjust her suit, but still trying to make it feel like authentic to the character, and
Mhm.
also authentic to myself too. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it
dude.
was, it was
Yeah,
fun, man. I enjoyed
it
it.
turned out beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Really good.
Thank you.
This it, these wallpapers for members are going to be gifts in and of themselves from
Yeah.
you guys this month, without question. Absolutely
Painted.
stunning. All right, what's up?
I have one thing. is that I noticed in the last one Kanan, you mentioned about where you start your inking,
Mm,
the closest. Sometimes you start with the head or the hand. This time you started with the background. I noticed
yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
started with the tree and the background, and then the characters. Kind
Yep.
of switched around, didn't you?
Yeah. Because
Usually you start with the closest thing.
yeah. I mean, like it's and I think it depends on kind of like the detail and because I knew it was such an intricate setting, I wanted to make
Mhm.
sure everything was kind of in place, as opposed to
Mm.
just drawing with them and then working back because then the background becomes extra.
Right.
But starting with the background first because the setting was so intricate to the design, like I really want to portray that, that the house, and
That makes sense because
the homely feel.
last time you had said that you like to start with whatever you think is like the anchor point of
Yeah.
your
Yep.
Yeah.
piece, right? And in this, with how like intricate the background is, but also
Yeah.
how intimate the setting
Yep.
is,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and how important it is that it's the entire idea, right? Was that he passed out delivering gifts. He'd been delivering them all night, all over the city, right?
Yeah.
Or the world, wherever, right? And Carly is like, she sees him passed out there when he was delivering at this specific home, just, pats him on the head. I got it from here, kid, type of a thing. It's a very
Yeah.
intimate scene,
Yep.
and it hinges on the background, the
Absolutely.
setting having that proper intimate feel to it. Like I can picture at least here. I don't know about you guys. Um, I can picture like just off to the side or just slightly in front of them, but off screen, off panel, there being like a crackling fireplace,
Yeah.
right? And
Absolutely. Yep.
that's why y'all ever sat, well, they probably don't have fireplaces in Brazil, Igor,
Kind of
because
useless.
it's kind of you don't need any extra heat. It's already 98 degrees Fahrenheit at night there for you, but like in other parts of the world that have normal weather, if it gets cold, having a fireplace there, if you've ever sat in front of a fireplace after like a meal or whatever, man,
Yeah.
that'll put you right to sleep.
Yeah. Well.
That'll knock your butt out. So
Yep.
I can totally
Crackling
picture
sound.
that being what's happening there. Yeah, the crackling, and
ASMR.
the warmth and everything like that'll knock you right the heck out. And
You're right, man.
so
Like
it gives that feel.
It
alluding
makes
to
the scene.
exactly like you understand that this is but a portal
Mhm.
into an actual larger scene.
Yeah.
Like you say, he's in the family room, and I was definitely, like you said, Andrew, like there's a fireplace there. You just can't see it. It's in the front of him, So the whole warm, cozy, whole just like really holiday. Because if you've seen some of those old postcards, man, particularly like the ones where a lot of stuff's hand painted. You see the house in the snow, and the
Yeah.
lights are on, and it's the whole nine, man. Like it's my mom, man. She had all that stuff, and it's forever ingrained. And so capturing that element, you see the kids walking through, 4 feet of snow, kind of thing, 3,
Yeah.
just like trying to get to the door, and then they got the Christmas tree dragging it behind, and like I remember that. I remember my mom and dad going and cutting down the tree, bringing it to the house, kind of thing. Like we did that type of stuff, and so being able to capture that same feel and mood in this piece, of course, Andrew won't say it, but this was his concept too, so shout out to you, man. Like it worked really well, and I think like you said, the fans will really, hopefully they enjoy looking at this. So
I do too. I hope it promotes more of that unity and love,
yeah.
joy, and peace that the indie comic sphere needs. And we will come back to that actually after we wrap up these last two pieces here. But thank you, brother. It turned out absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
All three of you guys gave the fans some genuine
Absolutely.
Hallmark card moments with these. No question about that. Okay.
Now we can go back to drawing monsters and other.
Yeah.
New year, new monsters.
Next year you can add Krampus, Igor. Okay, does that make you happy?
Your blood and gore.
Yeah, it will.
It almost slipped, huh? You made the tree in your piece be a creature, almost monster.
Yeah, I was trying to get it. I thought about it.
He was
almost
trying.
Was
He was
too
like,
much.
I can make it work. I'll squeeze it in there somehow. Okay, let's bring up this right here. So close that, close that. Boom. Okay, so one of our two guest pieces, well, one is the fan guest piece that we'll be covering this month's episode, and the other one is a fun guest entry from none other than our very own Carol Brown, continuing the Dirty Deeds theme with Girlfriend.
Yes.
Look at that.
So elegant,
Talented
man.
people all around.
Yes, Rinlin, here we go. I love this. So Caro has been doing a lot of sketches on her tablet of Rinlin over the last month and a half or so, leading up to the launch of Dirty Deeds #1, which, guys, that is available to pre-order right now. Make sure you do so. It's doing fantastic. Thank you so much for your support on that. But this one's probably my favorite one so
I
far.
wonder why.
I'm
Yeah, me
what?
Not biased at all.
I mean, like my favorite one of hers so far when it comes
Right.
to
right,
with
right.
Rinlin, you know.
yeah.
So there's-
Yeah.
humbug.
No,
Yeah,
honestly, though,
this
man,
is
like,
great. Go ahead and give us y'all's thoughts on this one.
this is probably one of the I'd say probably one of the best renders of her I've seen as far as like her face and shape and structure and all that. Like it's I mean, and not surprising. I mean, the person who created would know would know best, but
Right.
yeah, I love her elegance, man. Like just the softness, even like her neck and going into her shoulder. The hair is phenomenal.
the hair.
Mhm.
Yeah, she killed that. And even the face, just the subtle emphasis and definition of the different parts of her, really soft features, nose, all that. Love it. Yeah.
The line economy in there, like the face
Yep.
alone, like the mouth is 3 small lines.
Yeah.
You get the feeling you don't need to draw everything.
Nope.
Some of the stuff's gonna be hit by light, so it's gonna be clearer to the
Yeah.
point where like you can imply it. It's really good. Like especially with soft features, you wanna leave a lot of lines out, like without
Caro
messing
has
around
some
with it too
knowledge,
much. Yeah, she
some art
does.
knowledge on Caro,
Really
Yeah.
does.
and a unique style with
Yep.
the eyes.
Yeah.
Gives it like an anime-ish type
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like manga.
I love the
Yeah.
just kind of like how she does a lot of the, like you said, Igor, with the features and the 3 lines, a lot of open line. Like it's not like
Mhm.
completed. Even her eye, just kind of emphasizing and hinting at where the bottom of the eye is versus actually drawing it, which
Yeah.
is a really good technique, man. They actually did that a lot in the '90s too. Jim
Yeah.
Lee would
Yeah.
do that when he would draw like the ladies' faces, and to this day, I still use a lot of that, not drawing the lip completely, especially when you're rendering it, just showing aspects of it, depending on where the light lands. But
Mhm.
yeah, very good, Carol.
Yeah,
Very good.
I have no complaints. Obviously, it is
course.
Rinlin. So, but it's also I think her best piece yet of Rinlin. On top of that, I think the way that
Really
it's
good.
rendered, I think the posing, everything about it is the best work I've seen out of Caro thus far. Before she knows it, Air's going to be putting her to work drawing books.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gonna
Exactly.
make a cover.
Right.
Andrew,
Yep.
Andrew, you had a tough choice, huh? Between this and then Blue Shift being on your Sapphire.
That's true. Yeah.
How do you say his name? Sapphire?
Zephyr.
I always
Yeah.
say Sapphire for some reason. Sapphire and Kanan's piece. You were like,
I
But you had to
mean,
go with, of course, Girlfriend.
See, Zephyr's family. This is something else, right?
yeah,
Right,
this
Andrew?
is.
I would say
Zephyr's his
This-
baby. This was like his girl.
right,
Th-
right.
I mean,
this has a lot of
extended family,
quotes
right?
on, so, right? I think if she went with the costume design that Evan has her wearing, it would be like this would win by a slide. landslide.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
because she is covered in this. If you
Yes.
guys look at Dirty
She is.
Deeds,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, her costume
Girlfriend
and
usually
the
doesn't
hair,
wear this much.
yeah, the hair and the costume kind of emulate betta fish, right? Like so, there
Yeah.
is like this
Yeah, it's
shape,
meant to emulate the
yeah,
kind of
which I would love
wing-like
to see in the
fins.
hair. If Carol, I know that she had some problems with like her tablets and
Mm,
stuff like that, but
Mm.
I would love to see how that would look if she gave weight to the hair at the
Mm,
bottom,
yeah.
like if that would help with contrast or not,
Yeah.
because it would be cool to see like the shapes kind of growing, because she has like really long hair, and when
Mhm.
she is angry, her hair kind of like flares up, like the betta fish, right? Like so, kind of
Nice.
arms itself. It would be cool to see,
I
but
like
it's
the
a great,
texture she
Art-
added to her hair too. It's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
yeah, she did add a
Yeah.
little texture to the hair.
Yep.
I like
really
that a
cool.
That's
lot.
the only thing that's also like contrasted with the color.
Yep.
Hmm.
Also good. The only
Yeah.
I think the only artistic thing that I could see that I could change would be her on her shoulder line, the way that it curves in.
Yeah.
I would like sort of not delete, erase a little bit or blur out the bottom section of it so that it kind of joins
Connect
with
to
the
the,
Are you
tricep.
yeah,
talking about right here?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Like erase that a little bit so that it looks like the triceps connected to
Yeah.
the
Mm,
shoulder a little
I
bit
think
more.
yeah.
technically her arm would actually
Yeah,
come down
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
probably be almost like that pose where her hands behind her back kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
that
yeah.
would be cool. Yeah, because of the text and how she
Hmm.
is like kind of like
yeah.
teasing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see that like kind of pose. Either that or something with the other hand as well. I know hands are hard to draw and
She's
annoying
Yeah.
grabbing
sometimes,
Andrew's
but just
hand off screen. That's what's going on.
yeah, just kind of move
Oh,
Right.
or
She's
palm
behind
up
it.
and open. Yeah, kind of showing the. Yeah, I would love to see another arm there instead of like being. I understand that's behind her, but I would
mhm,
love to. Yeah, just
Also
to
Either her
good.
give
like
The
in
arm
front of
is
her elbow
missing.
or
Carol.
something.
Yeah,
mhm.
Maybe a
Yeah.
hint of her fingers, like over her waist there, like
Hmm.
hmm
on the backhand.
yeah, like this.
That could
Yeah, that
work
would
too.
be good as well. Yeah, that would save some work and like kind of give three-dimensionality to like the her arm being behind her.
Mhm.
That's good. It's a good idea, Marcus.
Still
Oh,
good.
I almost
No,
want
Yeah.
to
it's
love her
yeah,
to
it's
actually
fun.
finish
Yeah,
this, man. Like, because like you said, I
yeah.
know she had some
Mhm.
technical difficulties with what she was using, man. But I would love to actually see how this one look finished.
To anyone wondering, the technical difficulty was her dog ate her pen.
Her
Like that's
pencil,
literally what
Yeah.
her
yeah,
Apple Pencil
It's
was
true.
bitten.
yeah.
Yep.
Not an excuse to a teacher. She actually showed the pen to them.
Yeah,
Like dog ate the homework type
Yeah.
of deal.
the pen was
That's yeah,
depressurized.
literally.
Yeah,
Dog literally ate the homework. That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I love it. Great
me
work,
too.
Caro.
Yeah, yeah.
Might start
Congratulations.
tasking you with submitting a little more often. But
yeah,
then if
she
I do
should.
that, I'm gonna have to start submitting, huh?
Yeah, you
Yes,
should,
exactly. Yeah,
dude.
we should make the
He's gonna
turn this
draw
into a
himself with
round
her.
table.
We'll see.
Everyone's drawing.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? We'll see. We'll see. All right. Last piece is gonna be the fan piece. Before we get into the discussion topic here. So we'll try and go through the fan piece fairly quickly, not rapid fire, but fairly quickly. This piece does deserve our time and attention. This is by Roberto Viacava, who has submitted to us before. He did that cool Gooding piece that had Gooding and a big old mech behind
Yeah.
him. It was really fun. And he's been doing a bunch of fan art of our characters recently. And this was one that we elected to have for this episode. Keeping within the
Nice.
Dirty Deeds theme.
Yep.
Right? Oh, guys, talk to me about it.
I love how it's kind of like it feels like a continuation of what Igor did.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
about that.
Exactly.
Dude,
LCR kids, but
Aaron is going to like kill Felsier, bro. It's like, dude,
Oh,
you gave me a bad gift
We're
and
giving
threw
him
it
the
at my
picture.
face.
Yep.
Like,
I love
yeah,
that.
very good. Spingy
And
still
then
putting the kind of star
Yeah,
on is awesome
the
too.
star. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, and Vinland's still now she's eating. In the first one she had the drink, now she's eating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the eagle.
I drew. This is actually funny. This dude read my mind or something like that because I drew her with a drink and a
Yeah.
gingerbread.
Yep.
Yeah, biscuit.
It's the second.
I love Raylan's face in this, man. This
Mhm.
is
I
super
know.
cool. Super.
You know,
I wish Rinlin was
I
looking
found
like
it
that at me.
interesting. I'm looking at it now. It's really interesting. It kind of looks like your style, Igor. Like it has a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Feels like something, especially with Beatles here.
I would
Like the
have
way
to
he does the
see what
muscles.
what his influence is, but definitely, yeah, the hatching
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah,
He did
really
really
good.
good. Did a good job rendering Beatles, man. Like
I was
that's
about to say Beatles
Mhm.
is
very
like
well done.
obviously I'm biased towards girlfriend, but Beatles I think might be the coolest rendered here.
Yeah, very good.
And the
The
tree
tree
is
is good
crazy.
too. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
the
about
trees
that.
are-
Yeah,
That's a detailed freaking tree, man.
Yep.
yeah.
and it's bent. Oh
Yep.
Jesus!
Oh yeah. And I
Mhm.
just noticed. Can I zoom in on that specific spot? Let's see here. No, not by much. I think Spingy has webbing around the top of it here. So he's got a thread of
Oh
web here.
yeah.
That he's pulling it towards him
Uh-huh.
as he's
Oh,
putting
yeah.
the star in the tree.
That's
Mm.
true. Yeah, he's
Yeah, it's
pulling
hard
the
to
tree.
see.
Yeah,
Really
it's
good.
a little tricky to see just because it's in the background there, so it's a little
Yeah.
smaller.
Well done spotting that. Yeah, I hadn't noticed. Really cool, man. Like you can see a lot of what we're talking about in this, like the economy of lines, like the line work in the ship, where
Mhm.
like you see that's
Mhm.
the ship behind them, but there isn't like a conflict of
Mm.
textures, shadows, like everything's simple behind them, just to convey like the setting of it all, and
Yeah.
then the rest of it is like it's just background, right? Like you don't have to be like obviously you can be like Kanan and draw like the most intricate background,
Right.
like give the scene
Everything,
a
every
complete
detail.
different, yeah, every detail, like textures and everything. But if you're a human being like us, like you have to.
For those of us who are mere mortals on this earthly plane,
This will work
right?
as well. Yes.
This does just fine.
Yes.
I just
Super
love
like how
that
cool.
there's a
he
lot of
outlined it.
energy in their expressions,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Everybody's got a completely different facial expression here,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, Thelsiar looks very mischievous, right? And he's whacking Arad upside the head with a snowball. Obviously, Arad has some feelings about that in his face here. Spingy looks like he's just having a ball up there. Spingy's a little happy boy. And Sulia looks like she's tolerating him.
Yeah.
Right? She's
Just doing
tolerating
this.
whatever he's
Yeah.
got going on.
Yeah.
It's
I like he
just a
added
really fun
the
piece.
movement though, the movement
Yeah.
line for the snowball. Because I think if he
Mhm.
didn't add that, it would have been a little bit harder to like notice the
It would have been
snowball.
harder to
going.
understand what's going on if that
Yeah,
if that line there with the snowball wasn't in place to kind of give it that feeling
Mhm.
of movement. If it was like somebody who was paying, I guess, careful enough attention could see that Felsiar's arm looks like he just threw something, and you could
And it
Yeah,
has
have
of
another
course.
the
one.
end result over here of it splatting. But this is more fun, right? And this adds a little more dynamicism to
The
it.
one thing that I would do
Makes it
is
more like a
instead
comic.
of being like kind of horizontal like that, I would curve it a little bit more. Like
Curve
it's
a little
going,
bit. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
bigger, closer to Arad, and then like kind of tapering down
Yeah,
towards Elsia. That
I
would
got you.
make it more dynamic because when you put stuff like uh through the horizon line like that, like very horizontal, it gives the feeling that it's stable, and this is an action line,
Mhm.
so it's good to have it cutting through some horizon lines, like horizontal lines. Like
Right,
imagine.
so it looks like it's going from one plane to another.
Yeah, exactly.
Because clearly
Like that.
Felsiar is behind. He's
Behind,
in a
yeah.
more background
The tree.
layered
Yep.
plane, right?
Obviously, everything sells that, like you were
Yeah.
talking about, like everyone but that's like just a small thing. If you look at anime and manga, they do that very well. When someone's like
Mhm.
throwing a punch, or DBZ throwing like key powers and stuff like that,
Mhm.
there's always like this curve going, because that sells
The
like
trail.
the tapering sells perspective so well. And that's something that you're always striving for, like it's selling like the division here, which is great here. Like if you see like there are planes behind them,
Mhm.
and it's super hard to compose. We've said this 1,000 times. Super hard to compose in a vertical, like
Oh,
uh, I lost the word, but vertical
the
canvas or
vertical
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
format.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
as easy.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job with it. I think it would have been much more difficult if he had as many characters to work with as you did in your piece, certainly. But I think for the amount here, he did a really
Yeah,
great job of
yeah,
making it work with just enough, right? And
for
there's
sure.
not a bunch of empty space.
Hmm.
Um,
The
I think
silhouettes
it
are
just looks
great.
really good.
Yeah, the silhouettes for the characters are great. Like if you look at think about like erase all the detail, you can still
Mhm.
tell who is who
Yeah,
Shape.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty good.
About the snowball though, I think in order to keep it like this, with the line being more like horizontal like that, and it to make sense would be if Belsiar was throwing it with his other hand, because that way it would be more,
Hmm.
you know, it would make a little bit more sense for the way that it was thrown. Like I was talking about the line, the movement. You said it would need more curve as it is,
Yeah,
but to keep it like this and this and make sense, it would be if he was using the other arm,
yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it
which
makes
Yeah.
more sense.
makes sense. But yeah,
But this is like s- smallest thing ever, because this is
yeah,
probably
it's
the
like
strongest piece that I saw from him so far. And
Yeah.
I follow a lot of what he does, and he does some great stuff. But this is really on another level. Like the
it's actually
line work,
amazing.
yeah, the consistency of details, expressions, everything, very good. Like
It's well
way
balanced
more.
too, like
Yeah,
the contrast.
yeah,
No,
super.
he's been doing a lot of great pieces lately, and this one is absolutely up there as one of his best. He actually posted one earlier today. You know what? In fact, to heck with it. We'll do it live. We won't talk a ton about it. Um, but he did
Can
another
show.
one, and it is in um the same Christmas kind of spirit, Christmas vibe, and I think would make all the sense in the world to add here. So I'm going to take 2 seconds to download this from Discord and do it very quickly, like a real proper professional YouTuber, which I am not. Um, but I'm gonna do my best here. And sweet. That was nice and quick. Okay, cool. Uploading there. Um, there.
Kanan's taking over the Christmas spirit. He'll
Yeah,
be right back.
yeah, yeah. He will be. He's gonna do a different browser because the one that he's been using today, he said, is not cooperating with StreamYard. And
Not
you know
very
what? That is okay.
Christmassy. Yeah.
So while we wait his return, we're gonna pop this one here. Um,
Oh,
that is a lot of characters in the Rippaverse, actually. Uh, and I love it. I love that one of Sydney's Shadow Wolves has little reindeer antlers
Yeah,
on his head here. I love that Salvage and Sersha have ugly Christmas sweaters on over here.
Gyra is making it snow.
Yeah.
Braxwell bringing in the star so that Brian can use it. Super
Mhm.
cool, man.
You got
This is great.
Zaylin
that's funny.
carrying the sleigh. Um,
Zephyr bringing in the fireworks is
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
ill advised, honestly.
yeah,
Yep. Yep. Which makes me super happy, and I'm pleased that he made the cowl bolts nice and big, nice and long.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
like how I like in those, because I think I've said it before. I wanted those long, like how Batman Beyond's cowl ears are extremely long, right? Like they're way longer than standard Batman ears. So yeah, this is just a super fun piece. You guys got any thoughts about this while we and here is
Mr.
Kanan
White.
returned.
Sorry about that, guys.
All good, all good. Technical difficulties
good.
happen. We
Welcome
brought
back.
up another Roberto Villacava piece up here real quick while we were waiting for you. He just posted this in Discord, actually, as we were recording. I was totally not multitasking and looking. So I decided to upload
So this is the full image then, huh?
This is the full one.
Okay.
Yeah, he decided that
Jeez.
that he was like, I know there were a bunch of characters missing, so I just decided to expand it out. And it doesn't feel like an afterthought.
No,
it doesn't.
It feels like it's actually part of the same piece.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's actually true.
Great
I like
line
that
work.
horseman. It's just like helping.
Yeah, even
Sorry.
Yeah, he probably cut the tree. That's what he did.
Yeah, that was I was gonna say that he probably murdered it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
What do you think, Kanan?
really good, man. I love love Zeph. Love Cassie, dude. That's awesome. Having her in there, getting the gift from her uncle. It's pretty awesome. Love Norfolka. Looks amazing. Who's that in the back? That's
You got so you've got Salvage and Saoirse here wearing ugly Christmas sweaters.
Okay. That's awesome.
Well, I love it.
Who's
Each
the-
character or each pairing is like doing something different, right? You got Zaylin bringing in the sleigh, Iris bringing in the snow, Brax bringing in the star, Blue Shift, Zephyr
drones
bringing in the fireworks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Who's
awesome.
I'm trying to figure out who is that woman with Valadin. The one that's
No,
giving him
that's Takari.
That's
It's just
Takari,
difficult to tell
yeah.
here because he's
that's
further in the
Takari.
background.
My
Yeah,
bad.
it's Takari.
It's just because the detail is far away. I couldn't tell.
I think
Yeah.
usually his locks are longer
Gotcha.
too.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dreadlocks
gotcha.
are usually a little bit longer than that.
But yeah, it's
For some reason, I thought it was like for a second. I thought it was like Altona. But
that's
just
what I thought too.
in my head, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I love it. Looks amazing.
Yeah, I already told him he should get somebody to color it. I'd love to see this thing like
Yes,
Yeah.
colored real
That would
pretty
be-
like,
for sure.
because there's so much going on that the coloring will add a lot to like make every
For
single
sure.
character stand out and stand apart a lot more. So
Good.
I recommended him
that's,
Pedro actually, Igor.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
Coloring
colors.
would definitely pop it out more, especially for the background, because it's a little bit
Mhm.
harder to tell
Yeah,
the tree outline versus the sky.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of contrast there with colors or something would definitely make it pop as well.
yeah, like where
It
the
looks great
trees meet the
regardless, but-
ground too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah,
don't see a
that's
tree
true.
line or you don't see the actual ground horizon line for the ground.
Mhm.
But yeah, other than that, dude,
Yeah.
Super cool.
amazing.
Great fun piece. We've got some really talented fans, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. The Rippaverse
Best in
proved
the world,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. Jeez, those pieces, guys. It is obviously Christmas week right now, so don't expect the gallery to go up and the announcement to go out just yet, but that will happen very soon, right after the holidays. So I'm looking forward to all of you getting to see each other's work because
Indeed.
you guys put in some serious elbow grease. It's
Tough
very clear.
choices, right? Like, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tough choices for sure. Excellent work, Roberto. Thank you for allowing me to swipe your pieces multiple times in a single day. Actually, I didn't ask for that last one. I was just like, oh, swipe. how do I pad out time right now? Oh, Kanan's coming back. So
Much appreciated.
we have, no worries, man. Let me bring in, cool. Yeah, I can do this. Boom. Yeah. Perfect. All right. This is, guys, there will be the usual poll going up in the chat while we do the discussion topic really quick and then go through the housekeeping. You guys have a little bit of time to vote for your favorite piece for this month. So will Kara walk away with the belt the first time she enters? Or will Marcos retain his championship? Or will there be an upset and Igor or Kanan steal the championship away? Find out next time on Ctrl+Z.
Awesome.
Stole that joke from me. I see you.
Oh, that's right. You made that joke.
Yeah, I was like,
remember. Yeah.
it just felt
It's
so
funnier now
natural. So
because Andrew said it.
it is
See?
Natural progression.
but no, that's a credit to you. It was that natural of a joke that I didn't even think about it. Just kind of
Yeah, Andrew, you just got to scream for 2 episodes, and so next time you come back,
oh yeah, his Super Saiyan 3 transformation. We're gonna scream for 45 minutes. Nah, I'm okay. I'll keep my voice. Thanks. God bless you, Sean. You did a great job, but I ain't doing that. All right. So, guys, discussion piece for this month. We talked a little bit about when we were going through y'all's pieces that each one was kind of embodying this different spirit of Christmas, where we're talking peace with Marcos's, joy with Igor's, love with Kan's. How what I really wanted to do with this month's prompt topic was to promote unity, promote kindness, goodness. That's why it didn't matter what characters you were using, it had to embody those positive things, non-combative, things like that. Yeah, everybody kind of coming together. And that's something that I feel, and I think a lot of other people probably share this sentiment, that the creative space, whether we're talking comics, but we may as well talk comics because we're a comic book publisher, can be a bit of a minefield, right? Oftentimes you can have artists tearing each other down, trying to get one over on another guy, whether it's somebody they know and don't like or somebody they don't even know or whatever reason, right? A lot of times people, and there's a lot to be said for healthy competition, right? But healthy competition doesn't involve being at each other's throats.
Right.
Or tearing each other down. I think uplifting people and saying, hey, like, I can see where you're going with this piece. Here's what could elevate it. Here's how you could push yourself further to be a stronger artist with each next piece you do. I think that's something that's incredibly crucial. And then you can have other people that, maybe they're in a higher position than somebody else in the indie sphere, and they could look down on the littler guy, right? And that's not right either. We should be uplifting each other. So why, from your guys' perspective, because you guys are actual artists and you guys have been subject to critique of your own by whether it's your peers or I'm sure from instructors or whatever else, editors, why should we, as indie creators, seek to promote positivity in the indie comic space, not just during the holidays, but all throughout the year?
Honestly, man, like, it's because there's already enough going on that you don't want to feel like most people who do this for a living do it because they enjoy it. It's their passion. They've been drawn since they were kids or early teens or whatever. So everybody wants to tell stories. Everybody grew up watching the big two, superheroes and this, that, and the other. So that there's enough going on, there's enough you already have to deal with. Rather than fighting against each other. Sometimes I think if people learn to agree to disagree, things will be a lot better, because you could agree to disagree, but still come together and create something special. People do it all the time. And I think it's important because having that type of unity, man, and really shouting out each other and lifting each other up, because like I said, there's so much going on in the industry of comics that a lot of times the artist as a person gets overlooked. So we need each other. It's like, you need the unification, rather than attacking this individual because of their politics, or attacking this individual because they look different, or attacking this individual because they don't draw like you, or you know, and I think sometimes you get individuals that are also overzealous. Like, this isn't like a holy cause was doing comic books. We're just creating stories that people enjoy. Like Eric always says, that escapism, man. Like, we live in the world. We don't necessarily want to read the same thing that we're going through every day. We know what the world looks like. There's enough fighting amongst politics and people already. That shouldn't reflect in the comic. Leave that stuff out of it. And when you see an individual, man, that's creative, and if you can learn anything, genuinely celebrate people. Like when they one up, when they make it, when they thrive, when they excel, rather than attacking and being jealous, celebrate them for real. I heard something that says it's not so much that you, or when I say I, is in general, somebody is super successful because of what they own. It's because of their gratitude. When you remain grateful to people, and you respect, and you're thankful to what they've done and the things that they've accomplished, and you're truly and completely and genuinely like showing gratitude, like, thank you, I appreciate you helping me out. Individuals like that, they stay successful. One, people want to be around them, people want to work with them, and people, like in Mediterranean, like in a lot of ways, want to throw money at them to help work with them to get, so not only are you going to be successful, you have peace of mind, you're friendly. Like, there's a term in the Bible that says, if you want to be friendly, show yourself friendly. So it's you reap what you sow kind of thing, or you can say karma, the boomerang effect, wherever you want to call it. But it's important. Like,
you could be the one on the receiving end.
Exactly.
You never know.
Yeah,
Put out the kind of energy you want to receive.
And then not only that, but you never know what people are going through. Tagging people online, coming for their families, doing like all this crazy stuff that's goes on a lot in the indie culture. Like, going into 2026, man, like, you don't necessarily gotta agree with that individual, but like, we're an I was like, we're an island as it is as indie creators. Like, we all we got, because we don't, you're not backed by the big industry stuff. Everybody wants to create a story and support them. Like, support that. Like, genuinely get behind that. You're talking about, man, we need more of this, that, or the other. Well, there's somebody doing that. But if you're so caught up in your own stuff, you overlook the fact that they're actually making strides into the very thing you're trying to fight for. So rather than having being at odds with each other, man, like, support each other, back each other up, purchase each other's stuff. Like, when it like it's in as a creator, being the good guy or being a nice person. Remember, Eric said it. Being a good person actually goes a long way, believe it or not. If you're a nice person, if you're a good person, if you're not an a-hole, for lack of a better term, like, man, people actually purchase your stuff. They'll actually enjoy talking to you. You don't got your entourage, and you don't got all this, that, and the other. And it's like, oh, you talking in third person and just being like weird and creepy and stuff. Like, dude, like, it's about the comic books, and it's about the fans, and it's about presenting something, man, that's gonna help that new creator have a one up when they're breaking into the industry. It's like, man, sometimes it's like, the new creators come up and you don't want to tell them what it's like, because you're like, you
like, oh man, you sure you want to get into indie comics?
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta fight with this person, and this person gonna check you, and this person's gonna call you out on their channel, and this person's gonna do that, this, that, and it's like, dude, And I was like I always say, like hospitals, like when did it stop being about helping people and only be about making the money? Like, dude, like when did it start not being about comic books? Let's get it back to where it's about telling stories, creating comics, inspiring the next generation, because we ain't gonna be here all forever.
No.
Dude,
That's why I'm so glad to
turned
see younger guys like Paul
Exactly.
Thayer and Von Coleman and these guys like out there as far as I'm concerned, kids.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
they're
for sure.
and they're freaking doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like Paul has a bunch of books out.
Yes.
One of which he just
Yeah.
finished with Igor, right? Lethal
Like
Leopard.
18 or something like that.
Yeah, something
Dude is
crazy
like
in just like 3
20
years.
Yeah.
27, 26, something like
Yeah.
that.
Like
It's,
you I
insane.
mean, and you got, I mean, like I said, you know, I'm the oldest of amongst this group of people, but you know, I know that, you know, in a lot of ways, you guys are that next generation. I'll be 49 this year coming up.
Maybe Marcus, because I'm like towards the
Come
tail
on, I'm
end.
not that young. I'm 30.
I just
But-
turned 37. I'm not that much of a
But I'm
spring
just
chicken.
saying, man, like you know, that, you know, I'm about to hit that benchmark. You know, like and we need the next generation. We got to prepare the way for them to be able to feel like they can create and
Mhm.
not like I can't tell my stories because of this, bro. I can't tell my like dude, like support each. I guess that's my message, man. Support each other, like truly back each other up and show gratitude. It goes a long way.
An attitude of gratitude is one of the most and I don't mean this in like a romantic way. It's just one of the most attractive things to another human being. If you
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
a gracious and an attitude of gratitude,
Humility.
that goes a long way. Humility is worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
just being kind to other people is worth its weight in gold. And it can be hard, man, because there are a lot of people out there that don't subscribe to that, and
No.
you know they will not be kind. And the fact of the matter is, their actions and their attitude and their outlook on life and the way they choose to conduct themselves, that doesn't need to be the deciding factor in how you choose to conduct yourself.
Yep.
Your behavior is not predicated on that of
Mhm.
another's.
Nope.
Yeah, because people tend to think if they aren't like a-holes to other people, they're the ones getting like kind of screwed or
Yeah.
Mhm.
being taken advantage of. But it's the other way
Yeah.
around, right?
Yep.
Like,
If
Yeah.
you can't beat
people
him, join him type of.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a terrible type of mentality.
And it's an
Because-
unfortunate part of subculture right now, especially because I think for a long time, those of us who are fans of really anything, say DC, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever, right? We've been bashed over the head about a lot of things over the last, several years. And so you get to a point, right, where you're a little fed up and you got a chip on your shoulder and it feels good, at least in the moment, to kind of punch back and be a bit of a jerk online. I had my own stint for a couple of years doing that. I was a mean person online.
Yeah.
And I realized when I took a week off of social media, I realized I was miserable doing it.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, it is far more beneficial, not just for other people, but for myself to just not act that way.
It's liberating to just not, I better say, I want to say not care, but to filter through all the crap, man, and really make the thing the main thing.
Yeah.
And I've always, even, through the years and getting into this indie space, man, like, especially once social media became a thing, my social media has always been about art. And to this day, it still is.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see me making shots, taking pot shots at people. Yes, I have my view on certain things, but very rarely, if at all, does it make it to my social media. Because I understand, man, that whether you want to or not, as a creator, you're a role model.
Mm.
And you're preparing like that next generation. Like my kids, they all create. And if I
Yeah,
was
do you want people to be acting like you?
absolutely,
Right?
yeah, right. Like, dude, like if they saw it and I was that individual that was always snapping on people and stuff like that, like that's what they're seeing because they have social media. And it's like, and I don't want to, I'm sure Igor, with Una, man, you don't want to, you're like cussing and yelling at everybody and like, dang, that is out of control. Because they're either going, what's going to happen is they're either going to do the exact same thing or distance themselves from it. And a lot of times, distance themselves from that means they cut you off. And
It's a never-ending cycle.
I can't fathom that. I know people have dealt with that, but I can't fathom my kids hating me like that. That's crazy to me. That blows my mind. Like that's your kid. And like you want them to like, and the same thing with your creative. As a creator, your fans reflect you. If you're out of control, your fans are out of control. They're like your little minions. They just like going and causing havoc and stuff. It's like that's not furthering the cause of indie comics.
If you promote other indies, if you promote kindness, people, for lack of a better term, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you surround yourself with people that do that, then you're just promoting that positive energy.
Yeah.
Right. And positive behavior.
And for the person that's listening, I feel like, well, I was the good guy, and it seems like I always got kicked in the face. I learned that when you choose the hard right, and you choose to be honorable, you choose to walk in integrity, people will actually defend you. You won't need to defend yourself. They'll come to your aid. Like no, they ain't like that. Don't come at Igor like that. That's not. That's not what it's. They'll be the bad guy. They'll be that. Not that you don't like stand up for yourself, but what I'm saying is that people actually come, your fans, like man, he's such. I say that about my. Somebody said that about Marcos. It's like, dude, he's always humble, and he doesn't take that stuff, man. He doesn't get the big head and the ego, and that goes a long way. And that's the type of fans that he'll draw, and he'll keep drawing as long as he stays humble. And the persons of integrity, man, like those people will defend you. Like, no, don't come for him like that. So being the nice guy doesn't mean you finish last. You actually, like you said, Igor, it's the opposite. You finish first.
Yeah. If you're kind and you promote others and you promote kindness, you'll end up with the fans you deserve.
Yep.
And likewise, the converse.
You gotta treat it like a family. I always say, not like a club. You treat it like a club. Then you start getting these rules. You can't fit in. You got to do this. You can't be like this. And it starts getting kind of like a gatekeeping type of mentality.
Yeah.
If you got to fit in, you treat it like a family. You treat it like you would your own, with that love and kindness. You're always focused on helping each other, being with each other, no matter what.
That's good.
That's how you got to treat it. Can't see
Amen
it.
to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Well said. Well said, gentlemen. Well said. I am blessed and honored to work with such excellent and admirable artists. So thank you so much, not only for your fantastic work always, but for your good words and your fantastic attitudes. You are all a credit to indie comics, and there are many other indie creators out there that also are out there doing it. We named a few of them, but there are a ton more. So some that we've worked with directly, and some that is a blessing, to be sure. All right, guys, the poll will be coming down here in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to do some quick housekeeping here. Currently active collections. Dirty Deeds #1 is at almost 1,700 books and 60 grand.
Nice.
So as of this recording, so thank you so much for that. I'm sure we'll have crossed both of those by the time this airs. I don't see why we wouldn't. We're like a hair's breadth away from it. Great War of Separation 3 is closing down Friday evening at 11 p.m. So 26th. That's Boxing Day, because I guess we celebrate Canadians here or something. I guess we have a couple of them that we like. We keep them around. We like them all right. And so Great War of Separation Part 3, penultimate chapter. Look forward to Part 4 coming in 2026. This issue is a banger. And if you pre-ordered Rippaverse #5, you get a preview of it in here. So
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure you did that, or if you didn't, get on that and order that because that'll ship
Yes.
first. That is at almost 3,600 books, and it is over 120 grand. So thank you so much for that, guys. Our 2 villain books, written by Jen and Sylvie individually. So they're doing a head-to-head sort of thing right now, which has been fun to watch. Yeah, they got a rivalry going on, a little sibling rivalry. Black Eye Club Part 1, written by Sylvia, is at just over 1,900 books. So it's less than 90 books away from 2,000 books sold, and it's almost at 66K in sales. So thank you for that. The Cursed Part 1 is at 2,900, a little over 2,900 books sold, and 104,000, or almost 105 actually, which is pretty spectacular. All things considered, for our first villain books, that's pretty crazy, guys. Villain books don't typically do great. And I misspoke actually. Black Eye Club is at just over 2,700 books. I was looking at the wrong number, and it is about to hit 95,000 in total pre-order sales. So my apologies on there. It's actually they're pretty close here, guys.
Yeah, I was like, it's not too higher.
Yeah, no, I was like, I read that and I was like, I forgot to update that number, didn't I? And so I immediately pulled it up on the other tab, and I was like, yep, I forgot to update that number. So yeah, 95K and 104K respectively for those two. So thank you so much for your support of that. Lastly, but not leastly, it's a word. I'm saying it's a word. I was able to use it in a sentence. The Rippaverse Animation Fund. So our first crowdfund project, guys. This is to determine if any or what animation projects we're going to do in the immediate future or near future going forward. And we smashed that first goal of 50K.
Yes.
We're, I think, a little over 60 right now, which means that this thing is funded. So thank you so much for that. Our next goal is 100K. We've got a little over 2 weeks, I think. So like 17 days left in this one. So please go support that. There are a bunch of different tiers with really cool perks so you get depending on which one you buy into. Thank you so much for that, guys. We're looking forward to being able to animate more and more of our characters. Obviously, we've talked about the Horseman one. We're going to get a Rinlin animation thanks to some absolute baller that dropped $5,000 during a stream that Eric was doing. He put out a challenge.
He's like, hey,
if this thing gets, Eric, don't pay me like that, man. Like he pays me well, but he doesn't pay me like that.
It's like an Andrew Ghost account.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's doing very well. A little over 410 backers. Thank you so much for your guys' support on that. I don't have any shipping updates on things other than Zine 5 is now in the warehouse as of today. So I've got the covers with me here. And they're beautiful. This one's the collector's edition is actually spot foil and embossed. I thought it was just regular foil and embossed. So that's really cool. This thing's clean as hell. So guys, make sure you order this. I believe I'm going to be signing the CGC copies next week. So these are going to be going out actually now a little sooner than expected. It's later than we wanted to, but sooner than expected. So that's, I guess, kind of a middle ground. So that's outside of we could do.
Our control this time. So
yeah, it was one of those things where the printer's machines were actually damaging the covers. So they were like, well, thank God, we've got good printers, and they were like, hey, no, this is not up to snuff. This is not the quality that you guys expect of us or we expect of ourselves. So they were like, give us a little bit of time to get this corrected, and they did, and actually got it to us in pretty good time, all things considered. So shout out to our printers, and shout out to y'all for being patient. I know that some of you are waiting on Horseman 2 orders because they're tied into Zine 5 and all of that. So thank you for being patient with us. We can't wait for you guys to read them both. But beyond that, guys, as always, please sign up as a Rippaverse member. You'll get the wallpapers from every single Ctrl+Z episode. So that's going to be 4 of them this month.
Yep.
And there's actually be a little bit of a bonus going out. I'm not going to say what. I'm not going to say when. But in the very, very, very near future as well. So look forward to that. You also adjusted the $5 tier. You get a free standard copy of the most recent Ripazine. This one's the most recent one right now. So no better time to get in. Shameless plug. That's fine. But guys, I think that's all we've got. I'm looking forward to seeing whose piece you voted for. Make sure you get those votes in now, because I'm probably about to close the poll in the chat retroactively in the future Andrew, compared to when we're recording this. So guys, thank you so much as always, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us such great work. Thank you for giving artists such fantastic advice and perspective and critique, and also for your thoughts on promoting positivity in the indie comics space. I think it's incredibly valuable. I think that's something that everyone who is an indie comics creator could do with hearing and taking to heart. So make sure you guys hit like if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share out this. I was about to say stream. It's not a stream. It's a video premiere, but close enough. Good enough for government work. But until next time, guys, God bless, Godspeed, and have a very Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Ciao.
guys.